Hey, how are you doing? So glad to see you guys. It has been a minute since I've been live on Facebook. I've been really working my butt off. Not kidding you. I've been kicking about a few 21-hour days, right? I've been working on this platform and it's taken me quite a bit to get it done. But today, one of the things that I run into, especially when I'm speaking with people who are experts and entrepreneurs, and they're really getting into the point where they want to sell their expertise, they want to become an entrepreneur, they really want to take that expertise and put it in the high profit zone. How are you guys doing? They don't necessarily know how do you turn all of this stuff that you know. How you doing, Sean? They don't know how to turn all the stuff you know into money. They just don't know how to do it. They're like, I'm really smart, I have all of this knowledge, but I can't figure out how to do it. So the challenge that people run into is that they have something major, right? They have all this knowledge, they have this expertise, they've probably even been hired a couple of times to share it, which is where people really get in the trap. That's when you get on the feast and famine roller coaster, because what's happened, you have this expertise, you have this knowledge base, you've been invited to share it a few times, and then what happens is you go up, and you're invited to share, and you're like, oh, I made money, and then no one calls you for a long time, and then you go up again because someone invited you to share, and then boom. And so it's this constant feast and famine roller coaster. And quite honestly, you cannot survive and you cannot have a real business if you don't have consistent dollars. I mean, like, seriously, if you don't have consistent money, you're worried about paying your mortgage. If you don't have consistent money, you're not really sure how you're gonna put food on the table after a while. If you don't have consistent money, your internet's not gonna be on. And so you really want to get off of this feast and famine roller coaster. And the reason that people are on that feast and famine roller coaster is a major and obvious problem. It really is. And if they're honest with themselves, they're not sure what's working. They're not sure what's not working, and they're not sure of the why. They don't know why the things that work and why the things that don't. And because they're not sure, what they do is, because they want to get off this feast and famine roller coaster, is they continually change. So they're like, maybe if I add this tweak or change this or do that, and what they're really running into the same challenge over and over again. So before I kind of get off on a rant, my name is Dawnna St. Louis. So if you're watching this for the first time and you're like, who in the hell is that? Hey, my name is Dawnna St. Louis. Welcome, family. I am the CEO of highprofitzone.com. I'm also an international speaker. So as an international speaker, by the way, I speak on influence, the 7 triggers of yes, how to get just about anyone to do anything. I was actually on a client who asked me, how do I do what I do? And it was a service provider. Now they're saying, well, maybe we should come out and have you speak for us. And I'm like, this is working, isn't it? I just found out I have a new niche. It's called customer service. So it turns out they have to convince people all the time to do things. Anyway, my name is Dawnna St. Louis. Besides being a professional speaker that goes around speaking on influence, I'm also the CEO of highprofitzone.com. And at highprofitzone.com, we help people who are experts, coaches, service providers, speakers, entrepreneurs. We show them how to turn that expertise into a high profit business with a very specific execution plan that we coach them and teach them how to, we teach them the execution plan. Then we help them really refine that execution plan, and then we support them on getting that vision that they want into the marketplace so they can make money. That's what we do at highprofitzone.com. So if you want to take a look, you can go to highprofitzone.com. We just opened the doors, the registration for our next mansion retreat, which is coming up in May. Our retreats generally sell out, just giving you heads up, about a month after we open the door. So if you're interested in registration, go to mansionretreats.com. You don't have to pay anything today at all. All you have to do is schedule a time to talk to me, because you can't even get in unless you talk to me, because it's only open to 12 people. So let's talk about this a little bit. The major and obvious problem, right? Because this is really a thing, right? This is a major and obvious problem where people have this expertise, they're busting their butt to get it into the marketplace, and it's not going anywhere. Or if it does go somewhere, it's usually a trickle. It's, well, somebody hired me, and then like for 3 or 4 months, no one hires you, and then someone hires you again. And at the end of the day, you're only hired a handful of times to really share that expertise, and you can't figure out the formula. You can't figure out, well, damn, what did I do that time that made someone hire me that I didn't do this time? And so you're constantly going through this thing where you can't figure out what's wrong. Well, I'm going to tell you a couple of things that is probably not right. So I'm going to give you 2, maybe even 3 tips on things to really look at in your own area of expertise. So the first thing is, most people, when I first talk to them, when they come to into my program, the first thing that I notice is that they are selling the problem in the process. They're selling the problem and the process. And I don't mean the name of the process. I mean, they're selling the step-by-step processes, right? And so when you find yourself saying something like this, like, well, first we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then that's you're selling the process, right? The number one way to stop selling the process is to give your process a name. I don't care what you call it. It could be what you had for breakfast this morning and the color of your underwear, right? We help you get to this result by using the black oatmeal method, right? But the point is that just by giving your methodology a name, the methods, those steps, a name, all of a sudden you have something that people haven't used before. Oh, the black oatmeal method. The black oatmeal method will help me get past that challenge. I need to learn more about the black oatmeal method. So that's the first thing. Stop selling the process. People do not want to buy your process. And I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody wants to have, they want to have a better body. They want to have, a tight ass. They want to have whatever that thing is that they're looking for. What they're not buying is dieting and exercise and treadmilling and sit-upping. They're not buying those things, right? But they are buying, the South Beach program. They are buying the keto plan. They're buying the results because that method, the keto, is a method to get to a result. So that's what people want. They want to know there's a method to get to the result. They don't want to hear diet and exercise. They want a method. So the first thing you want to do is you want to not sell the process. You want to sell the method, the plan, the effect. That's what you want to sell, because that will then get you to your result. Okay, the next thing, and I have notes here on my hand, and I'm not wearing glasses, so I actually have notes like way back here, but I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. So the next thing that people are selling, like I said, first they're selling the process. The other thing they're selling is the problem. Now, this is a big one that I see quite often. People will say things like, they'll tell me they speak on leadership, right? And they don't necessarily even have their expertise nailed. They're like, I speak on leadership, influence and like sales with a little bit of how to get over challenges, right? Like it's all this thing. They're not very clear on the one thing that they sell. Well, first of all, you have to be very clear on the one thing that you sell. You kind of want to go 2 or 3 levels deep on that particular item, because here's the thing. If you really want to have more commas in your bank account, you have to take commas out of your expertise. I do one thing in my business, and I do it really, really well. I help experts turn their expertise into money. Notice I'm not telling you the process. There is a methodology that I use. I could say using the high profit zone method. I could say that. But at the end of the day, you want to be very, very clear on the thing that you do. I help these people get to this result using this method. Very clear. If you start saying things like, I work on leadership and influence and dog catching, and people stop believing that you're an expert in all of those, right? And then, of course, you want to use that method that we talked about initially. But even when people do nail in on their expertise, they then spend a whole lot of time selling the problem. So here's a great example of some of the titles that I've gotten recently. Trustworthy leadership, unconscious bias and leadership, how to be an emotionally intelligent leader. Okay, so let's talk about this first one, trustworthy leadership. The first thing I want you to think about is, what is the opposite of trustworthy leadership? You're a lying ass leader, right? Why else would you need trustworthy leadership? Because you're a liar? Is that what the problem is? Right. People probably don't want to buy more trustworthiness because it kind of says that they're not. So what you'd have to ask yourself is, what is the result of being a trustworthy leadership? Maybe having happy and loyal resources, right? Maybe having a happy and loyal customer base. Or, increasing loyalty, increasing happiness, increasing team building, or something like that. But you want to really stop. We spend so much time as experts. What we do is we put on this little superhero cape. And then what we do is, excuse me, my nose is running all of a sudden because it's cold. But then what we do is we run out and we put on this superhero cape, and then we run out and we try to save the most broken people. That's what we do. We go and try to save who's broken. But what if you were helping people that were already okay? So what if somebody was already a trustworthy leader, but they wanted the results of being a trustworthy leader? They're like, God, I'm so trustworthy. What do I get from that? Right? So maybe it's like how your trustworthy leadership can build more loyal teams. How your trustworthy leadership can. Now, if they have a problem with trustworthy leadership, well, the first thing in your book you're going to talk about is, well, what is trustworthy leadership? Right? But if you already say, listen, you're a trustworthy leader, and I'm going to tell you how to get some of the benefits from that, that's way better than saying how to be a trustworthy leader. Because right now, what you're telling me is that I'm a lion sack of crap. The next one that we talked about was unconscious bias in leadership. Now, this actually came from someone who came to our retreat, who I absolutely love. Her name is Kelly. So Kelly came to our retreat, and she is an expert in the area of unconscious bias and how unconscious bias can really do damage to your organization. And so I asked her a very critical question, and I said, okay, Kelly, if unconscious bias is the bad thing, people aren't buying more of that. Right? You're selling the problem. You're selling unconscious bias. No one's going around going, you know what I need? I need a little bit more unconscious bias. I don't think I'm quite racist enough. So we want to make sure that we're not selling the problem. In this case, unconscious bias. So I asked her a critical question. What is the opposite of that? What happens when people recognize their unconscious bias and they want to do better. They want to have less of it. What is the opposite of having unconscious bias? And we started working with that. And then she said, well, when you have conscious bias, it's like driving a car. You know where the pothole is. And because you know where the pothole is, you know how to steer around it so you don't make those mistakes. I'm like, so what are we really selling? Aren't we selling a little bit about being almost like a better driver, a better racer, getting to the finish line? And so anyway, it just gave her something to think about. Now, since then, she's done amazing work because she's not selling unconscious bias anymore. She's selling how to basically have better course correction within your organization so you have more loyal employees. It changes just the mindset a little bit simply by thinking about it differently. A lot of people do that though. They sell the problem. So what Kelly was doing isn't any different from what most people do. Most people go out and they sell the problem. And I'm like, no, don't sell the problem. If I already have a good handle on unconscious bias, right? Like I really realize, oh my gosh, this is something that I'm doing and I constantly check myself, then what's the benefit of checking myself? She needed to sell the benefit. And so we got to that. And so then the last one was how to be an emotionally intelligent leader. Now, there are so many books right now about emotional intelligence, but this again is saying that what is the opposite of emotionally intelligent leader? Okay, you're an idiot robot leader, right? So we want to make sure that we're giving people something that they can work with. If you're already an emotionally intelligent leader, what is the benefit of that? Right? Again, stop selling the problem, sell the solution. They will, and you can talk about the problem in your book, but sell the solution that they're looking for. So if I don't have emotional intelligence, there's a whole bunch of things I don't have. So sell me those things that I want. Because if I'm not emotionally intelligent, then I probably don't have a good connection with my resources. So sell something in regards to creating a culture where people are connected. That is way better than selling an emotionally, emotional intelligent leadership. Sounds great. Big words, right? All of them have more than one syllable. But the issue is that it says that this person is the opposite of an emotionally intelligent leader, is basically a stupid robot who happens to be a leader. Not buying that. So we want to make sure that we're selling what people are buying. All right. Now, the last thing, and this is the one I hear the most, of all the things that when I ask people, what do you talk about? What is your area of expertise? The one thing that I hear the absolute most is, I help people get past obstacles. Now, I could be an ass and I could go, what obstacles? Like, you clearly have an obstacle, otherwise you wouldn't be on the phone with me, and you're not doing so good overcoming that obstacle. So are you really an expert on helping people get past obstacles? Because if you were, you wouldn't be talking to me, right? But at the same point, I recognize that we can't see the label from inside the jar. So with that said, I don't say that, but with that said, here's the challenge with helping people get over obstacles. First of all, if you're talking to someone who is an adult, I guarantee you that in their life, they've gotten over obstacles. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that at some point they fell down and had to get up. That's how they learned to walk, right? So they've gotten over obstacles. They have. So if they've gotten over obstacles already, then do they even know that they need your help? See, that's another thing that happens. I ask people all the time when they tell me they're selling something, I go, okay, does your client know they need that? And they go, what? I'm like, you're selling me something that I don't even know that I need. I don't know that I have unconscious bias. So telling me that you're selling me unconscious bias means shit, because I don't even know I have that, right? So a lot of times they'll say, yeah, but when they get it, they'll have these things. Then sell those things that they'll get. Stop selling them crap that they don't want because they don't even know they need it. It's like someone coming to your apartment or to your house and saying, you know what? You really need netting on your ceiling. Like, I'm going to go out and I'm going to sell everyone netting on their ceiling, because netting on your ceiling is the most important thing you can have. Like, I don't even know how people are going around without netting on their ceiling. And you're probably sitting there right now going, well, what the hell is netting on your ceiling? It doesn't matter, because this is what people do. They go and sell stuff that people aren't even aware that they need, instead of selling the benefits of why people need that. Right? You're trying to solve a problem people don't know that they have. And so this means that you have several different steps that you go through when you do this. First of all, now you have to spend the entire time educating people that they even have this problem. Then you have to get people on board with believing that they actually do have this problem. Then after they get on board with believing that they do have this problem, now they got to say, well, yeah, I guess it's something I could fix, but I've been going this long with this problem and it hasn't bothered me yet. So maybe I won't fix it, right? Then you're going to get those few people who go, oh yeah, I really want to fix this problem. I wonder what the results are when I fix it. So it's a very long way to go when you sell people a problem they didn't know they had, right? So you got to really make sure that you're not selling a problem people didn't know they had, but you're selling a result that people want. That makes all the difference in the world when you change it. Now, when you do start talking about the solution that you offer, there are two parts of the solution that you want to identify. Of course, when we start talking about the results, we want to look at the results from 4 different areas. So money, does it save money or does it help them make more money? Time, does it save time or does it make things more efficient, right? And so you have higher productivity, right? Does it give me less work or does it make my work more productive? So you have those 3 areas. And then the 4th area is quality. And for God's sakes, don't tell me stuff like, and they're gonna have a better life. Be more specific. So when I talk about the stuff that I do, I'll use mine, for example. I could say, I work with speakers it's even hard for me to do this, if you want to know the truth, because I know the result that I give. But I could say, I help speakers get over obstacles. I help experts and coaches get over obstacles. I'm going to tell you right now, most speakers and experts and coaches have gotten over obstacles. It's very generic. But when I say something like this, I work with experts to make more money in less time sharing their expertise with their target rich environment. That's very specific. I work with experts to make more money much faster by making sure they're working with their target rich environment, their ideal client, right? So that's way, way, way more specific. If I even got more specific, I would say something like using the high profit zone methodology, which has produced already 150 millionaires. Now we're getting way, way, way more specific. So you want to get from this kind of generalized, I help people get over obstacles, into the very specifics of what you help people do. And it's like I said, I'm not bashing anyone, because most people that show up to my retreats, that come to any of my boot camps, or even go to my online things, their biggest challenge is they have so much knowledge and so much expertise to share. And what they're missing is a couple of things. Number one, they don't know what their superpower is, right? And your superpower is that thing that has consistently driven your success since you were a child. So that's the first thing. And then they don't know how to pick a single area of expertise in which to apply that superpower consistently. Then once they do that, they have a hard time identifying how they communicate about it and get clarity on it, so they'll know who will buy it, how exactly to deliver it to them, how they want to deliver it to them, how the other people want it. What they usually end up doing is just doing what all these other people who they tell you that they're helping you build a business, but what they're really doing is helping you market. And here's the thing. If you have shit, quite honestly, and you shine it up, nobody's really buying it. You actually have to make sure that you have something valuable to sell, right? So I don't care how much marketing you have in the world, you're going to get some sales, but what you're going to end up on is the feast and famine roller coaster. You have to, we help you get that clarity. And that's the one thing people walk out saying, clarity. I know exactly what I sell. I know how to communicate it. I know exactly who I sell it to. I know the most important part, why they buy it. Yeah, why they buy it, why they want to buy it, how much to charge for it, and how to get them to buy again. Like, that's the thing, right? The whole thing. I compel people to want to buy my stuff because at the end of the day, they want to buy my stuff. That's what you want to get to. And so many people get so stuck, and they end up on this feast and famine roller coaster forever, and they're reading all these books. A lot of people, what they do is they give you tactics. I'm just gonna, you have to go and do YouTube videos every week and Facebook Lives every week, and you have to do this marketing plan and this marketing strategy. Nobody can tell you what marketing plan and marketing strategy to do if they don't know who your ideal client is. And they won't know who your ideal client is until they've identified your expertise. And they won't be able to identify your true area of expertise until they know exactly what your superpower is and how that superpower connects with exactly what you can deliver. It's the whole thing. A lot of people start you way off in the middle so you can make money, and then you're tricked, because what happens is you start making a little bit of money and then nobody calls you, and you're like, well, damn, maybe I need to do another video. Damn, maybe I need to write another blog post. And you spend all this time writing all these blog posts and doing all these videos, and no one is really buying except for that one person who happens to trip past your stuff periodically. That's not what you're looking for. You're looking to fill your funnel with people who constantly want to buy from you without you having to sell to them. That's the thing. Without you really having to sell to them. That's the goal. Anyway, 2 things I want to share with you. Number 1 is we just opened up registration for Mansion Retreats yesterday or Saturday. I don't even know what today is. But anyway, I know we just opened it up a couple of days ago. And we generally sell out within a month. So if you're interested, I think the lowest deposit is like $1,400. So if you're interested, go make your deposit now. The Mansion Retreat for entrepreneurs, the 4-week prep work and coaching starts April 1st. And you're not online every day or anything crazy like that. We guide you and you have a coach available to you. But prep work starts April 1st. The retreat actually starts May 1st. That's early bird. For people who are coming regular, it's that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, which is the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and doors close on the 6th. But you can go to mansionretreats.com. You can see all the pricing. If you set up a call to talk to me, we can have a conversation, because I only accept people in the retreat that I know I can help. If I can't help you, if you're too junior, if it's not right for you, if it's not the right time for you, if there's something not quite right, we give you other alternatives so that you can be successful. But we really don't take in people that we don't know that we can help. Like, we really, really want to help people get off that feast and famine roller coaster. You know, what's my favorite thing? I help people find financial freedom from corporate colonization so they can make more money doing the work that they love, working with premium clients who love the work that they do. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I am speaking at the NSA Winter Conference, and specifically, I'm going to be talking about craveable keynotes. So how do you write a message that not only gets you on stage, right? So once you get on stage, instead of you having to do this climb to get back to another stage, and a climb to get back to another stage, and a climb to get back to another stage, we help you literally leap from one stage to the other by writing a keynote, by having a keynote that truly helps you get 3 to 4 referrals. And I'm not just saying this, that it works for me. I have clients that have literally done unsolicited videos right after they've delivered a craveable keynote, and they've gone, Dawnna, it worked. I got off stage. I got 4 referrals, just like you said, just on time. Now, of course, these people are clear on their expertise. They're clear on who their target market is. They're clear on where their target rich environment is. They know all the little rules ahead of time before they get on stage in order to make that magic happen. But they definitely know how to make that magic happen. So those are the 2 things I want to share with you. I'd love to see you at NSA Winter Conference, which is in Orlando. It starts on I get in Orlando on the 15th. I speak on the 16th. How about that? So I think it's the 15th through the 18th. And then, of course, Mansion Retreats with an S.com. We literally just opened up registration this weekend. So if you're interested in talking to me and having a conversation about Mansion Retreats, go ahead and jump in. Again, it starts May 1st through May 6th. There's only 12. I'm saying there's only 12 spots available. I know there are fewer than 12 spots available right now, but we only allow 12 people in the mansion, and we allow 4 people off site. So we only allow a total of 16 people, and there are 4 coaches. So it is literally a 1 coach for every 4-person type of ratio. If you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a direct message. If you're interested in Mansion Retreats, please don't wait too long, because we do sell out super, super fast. You can go back and look at any of my videos. We sell out super fast, and we only do them once a quarter. And the reason we sell out so fast now is because we usually have rollover from a previous retreat that people couldn't make it into. So now they get first dibs on this one. And so these are getting sold out faster and faster and faster. Anyway, that's all I have for you guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope it really helps you understand what it is that you're selling, who you're selling it to, what your messaging is saying to them when you're selling it. So that way you can kind of nail that down. Anyway, have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you guys on the other side.